All right, so I'm going to start my train layout series of videos here. I'm still trying to get back into the swing of doing these videos. I would have gotten footage in Home Depot and Hobby Lobby if I would have thought about it. And I've been so out of practice doing these videos that I didn't even think of it. But I did want to get some sort of footage of me, kind of picking the materials that I got and that sort of stuff. But I ended up not getting around to it. So I apologize for that, but we'll, kind of move on from there. And hopefully I'll learn my lesson. But this video here is basically just the startup of getting the layout together, kind of getting a few things to get the feel of trying to put this together, trying to figure out a track layout and that sort of stuff. So that's all I got for now. We'll see how it goes with the holiday time constraints, plus leaving back on tour probably sometime next week. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get around to doing much more, let alone posting a video of it. So we'll see, but I wanted to pump this one out for you guys. All right, so I've got here 4x8 sheet of, I cheaped out. I didn't really cheap out. About the same price as plywood, but I went with underlay just because it's thinner and it's lighter. Not so much because it's thinner, but more so because it's lighter. And then we've got the was that 2-inch insulation for the board. So 4x8 layout. I went with the thinner stuff because it was lighter, because I need to be able to tip this up against the wall when I'm not using it, because I don't have any room. Also went to the hobby store. I was actually looking at getting a turf mat. You know what? That's kind of taking the cheap, lazy way out. So I decided against that. Plus, you're stuck with green blend all the way across. So it really wasn't worth it. So I bought, for now, I just bought two blends. We got a green blend and an earth blend. We'll work on that. Then I got, just because it was there and I was here, so some pre-painted rocks. Of course, that's kind of the idea that I'm going with. There's a little pond or something, a couple of rocks, and then I got some callus. Now, I don't know if this would be technically like the right gauge, I'll say, for ballast, because they did have ballast too. But I didn't get that because it was $4.99 per bag, and I thought it was just a little bit too expensive for, I think I should be able to find it a little cheaper. So got those. And then of course I went out and bought my old time, man, I remember these. I remember them being thicker though. I remember kind of having a spine like that. But got my model railroader and great model railroads, essential layout tips and such. So we're kind of doing a little bit of reading and stuff, I'd love to get something like that one day. One day. I'd have to move though. So this is my general idea so far for my layout, which I just kind of threw what little track I had available. This is the general idea that I'm kind of thinking of. In the corner here, I'm going to have a hill where the main line will come in through a tunnel. I may or may not elevate slightly the radius here, just a little bit, just to kind of see if I want the hill to kind of come out a little bit. I might not. I might just blast the rock away around the corner a little bit. Not too sure yet. I don't necessarily want to raise it too high because I've got the yard over there. But anyways, the main line will come in, go along here. I'm going to have one industry track kind of leading off this way. I was originally thinking of pulling it back this way and putting it out that way, but I think this might work out a little bit better. Having the industry here, one or two buildings. I might have a building or two over here. I'll have I think a main road coming in here. I'm going to have a yard, 4 or 5 track yard plus the main line. Little yard, yard office. So I might have some sort of building like a hardware store or something here. Main line coming in here, maybe intersect going over to the industry over here is kind of what I'm thinking. Been watching videos on how to set up a yard. This is all the straight track I had, so I can't. In fact, I don't even have enough switches. I've only got 3 switches currently, but I know there needs to be a runaround track. I know one of them has to extend past, so that way they can jockey back and forth, blah, blah, blah. So I need to figure that all out with the switches and everything. But what have I got? 4 right now. So I might do one more, may or may not, and bring it out kind of as far as I can here. Get some flex track that I can cut or something and just kind of fit it all in. But this is kind of what I'm looking at. But yeah, from here, wherever the intersection is, I want to chunk this down, come down, and the road will come down and just kind of follow along here. I got the 2-inch foam, so that way I can kind of make some, you know, go down instead of just up, because I wouldn't mind like a little pond or a little lake or something. Get a little bit of depth as well as height on it. So that currently is my layout idea. So I brought this sheet in the other day just to kind of get it out of the way in the garage, and I was oh so careful the entire time until this corner hit a step coming up here. And if that wasn't bad enough, for some reason my mind thought it was a good idea, considering I had it up here for a different project, to use some super glue. Now I know the makeup of super glue, the chemicals in them just would eat foam, and I don't know what I was thinking at the time. So I'm going to start this process by sanding the bottom, so that way it gives the foam a little bit of grip for the glue. So basically what I got here is some, well, this one's actually Loctite. Basically like a liquid nail type of goop. And I'm just laying it down. I'm just going to give it a good old, I'm going to use the whole tube. I have some old stuff there, but don't really need a whole lot from what I know, but I always say the more the better. Now I'm going to come in with an old points card that I don't use anymore. We're just going to kind of smear it out a little bit. Alright, so I've got that done. So now I got it spread out a little bit, just kind of ease it in. It's going to be kind of tricky one-handed, or one person, but we're going to lift up and lay down. Just kind of give it a little bit of a, how's your daddy? Just to kind of get it a little bit more mixed in. Then make sure it's all nice and on there. Well, nothing says you're Canadian quite like using alcohol as a weight. But it works. So there we go. We'll let that sit for a while, overnight, and yada yada. The table isn't long enough or wide enough, so there's really not any support on the corners. The centers are fine, but the corners weren't, so I'm using some gaff tape. So I got that up there. That's kind of holding them together now a lot better. They'll be secure, I'm sure. And then I also took care of that bad corner, which unfortunately the chemical makeup did do some damage. It runs all the way through here, so, but that's fine, because I think I'm going to make this the hillside. I'm going to have that as the operation side, in which case the yard will be over there. The industry will come out. Let me back this up. The industry will come out here, so this will be the hill tunnel area. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So now we just wait. All right, so it's officially the next day. I've already taken off the Canadian weights, aka beer. It seems like it's pretty solid, so we're gonna start taking that, and by we I mean with the dog. Start taking off some of this tape, and we'll see just how well it's held up. So far, yeah, that's the wood that you buy nowadays. So yeah, that is definitely now attached. So, right on. All right, so I've got all tape off except for this corner, which is the broken corner. We're going to see just what kind of mess there is. All right, so it's attached to the wood, so that's good. But I am left with this little crevice. But like I said, I think what my plan is going to be... Whoops. I forgot the camera's over on that side. I'm an idiot. Anyways, I think what's going to happen is this side, like I said, I'm going to have the hill kind of up in this corner here. The tunnel just kind of dead ending into there, which would be the main line coming into the branch. So I think that's just how that's going to end up being hidden. It kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. So, of course, we've got these little dents. I mean, they're going to happen. Obviously, I'm not too worried with them because scenery and buildings will hide all of that at some point. So that's not a big deal. Now, one thing I'm kind of toying with is trying to figure out where to put a bridge. I don't know. I've got this one, and I've got this one, which are just cheap. They're from like the Bachman or Tyco set that I got as a kid. So I'm not sure exactly where I could use them. I'm kind of thinking of putting in a little river or something, in which case this would be flush with the foam, and I would just cut out down here a little river. But like I said, I'm not too certain on where I can put it, and I'm not quite set on the exact layout that I had. I'm kind of thinking of changing it up a little bit. I do know that I want a rail yard and one spur for an industry, so it's just a matter of lining everything up. And then, like I said, we've got to have the one main line. In fact, I'm kind of thinking of having the main line, like I said, with the hill coming in there. I might do like a full rail main line going all the way to the other end, and then having some switches come in and do the loop. I'm kind of thinking that might be, in which case I could put the river down on that end, just as it's leaving type thing, kind of back here, because the loop would go there, have a river kind of come in through here or something. I don't know. I'm toying with that idea. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so I really don't think I'm going to get much done even before I leave, because I think I'm going to be leaving back on tour for Monday or so. And I don't know exactly when I'll be back, so this might not get much of an update at this point. I will probably, hopefully at least, try to paint this black, although I'm kind of debating if I really want to, because with moving it might get scuffed up and it might be kind of pointless, but it might not too. So I might do the rim, just paint that black, just kind of give it a little bit of personality. The rest of it, I gotta wait until I figure out the track placement. I've got cork bed coming. I need to get the flex track and that sort of stuff still. So, like I said, it's going to be a little bit before I want to do this right. So it's going to be a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can put all this video together and then see if it's long enough, see if it's worth it to post this video. Until the next update.